From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's voice briefing. It's Friday, July 3rd, 2026.
I'm Clara Hendrickson for the Detroit Free Press. In the Tuesday, August 4th primary, Michigan voters will decide the Republican and Democratic gubernatorial nominees who will face off in the November election to decide the state's next leader. Governor Gretchen Whitmer, a Democrat, cannot run again due to term limits. The Republican gubernatorial primary includes 3 candidates: former Attorney General Mike Cox, whose bid marks his second run for governor, U.S. Representative John James of Shelby Township, who wants to leave Washington, D.C. to lead Michigan, and self-funder Perry Johnson, who promises to run the state like a business. The Democratic gubernatorial primary includes Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, who promises to transform government services, and Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson, who has cast himself as the working-class candidate in the race. Absentee ballots are available now, and early in-person voting begins everywhere Saturday, July 25th and ends Sunday, August 2nd.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Kristen Shamus with a story about a microscopic parasite that is wreaking havoc on the gastrointestinal systems of hundreds of Michiganders. The parasite causes an illness called cyclosporiasis, which triggers nausea, bloating, abdominal pain, and watery and sometimes explosive diarrhea. State health officials say they're investigating whether there's a common source for the outbreak, which so far has infected more than 225 people in 21 Michigan counties. That number is expected to grow, said Lynn Sutphin, a spokesperson for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. The Cyclospora parasite is endemic in some tropical and subtropical parts of the world. It lives in fecal matter and can contaminate food and water. In the U.S., outbreaks have been associated with fresh produce from foreign suppliers, such as basil, lettuce, cilantro, snap peas, and raspberries. State health leaders urge Michiganders to seek medical care if they have symptoms of cyclosporiasis because the infection can be treated with antibiotics. They also issued an alert to healthcare providers to be on the lookout for patients with symptoms consistent with cyclosporiasis and to test them for a parasitic infection. Positive cases must be reported to local health departments within 24 hours. To learn more about which counties have cases and how to protect yourself from the illness, go to freep.com.
Hey there, everybody. This is Omari Sankofa II, Pistons beat writer for the Detroit Free Press. On this week's episode of our podcast, The Pistons Post, Bryce Simon and I reviewed a busy week of transactions and broke down Jalen Duren's contract negotiations and restricted free agency. Here's a quick snippet of our conversation. Obviously, after the Isaiah Stewart trade, the next big move for the Pistons was trading for Isaiah Joe, and that's a big pickup. I know you've done some deep dives on him already, Bryce, but between him and Duncan Robinson, they've got 2 elite shooters on the floor next season.
I mean, I think that's what stood out to me the most, O2. I knew Isaiah Joe was a big-time floor spacer, but whenever I did the actual Isaiah Joe Duncan Robinson comparison, I was actually a little surprised how close they were. He's played 4,500 minutes over the last 3 seasons. His three-point attempts per 100 and three-point percentage was better than Duncan Robinson over those 3 seasons. Now, he doesn't do any more, I guess I would say, inside the three-point line or getting to the free throw line compared to Duncan Robinson. He is a little bit better of a rebounder. I do think he's probably a better defender, even though there is some size difference there. You always bring this up with Duncan Robinson, but the corner three-point percentage is over 50% for the last 3 seasons. I think one play type in particular I'm really interested in, Isaiah Joe in less minutes than Duncan Robinson last season had more three-point attempts off handoffs. So you talk about that kind of top of the key action, that get DHO action that Jalen Duren likes to run and the Pistons like to run. I think Isaiah Joe will be really good with that. My favorite play type, I'm telling you guys, I can't wait for the first Cade Cunningham. Isaiah Joe comes in for a ball screen and then goes out of it for like a pick and pop little catch and shoot 3.
You can hear that full conversation in this week's episode of The Pistons Post, which is available wherever you listen to podcasts. And as always, you can find our latest coverage on freep.com/sports.
Find more from the Detroit Free Press on freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thank you for listening. Have a great weekend, and you'll hear more from us Monday.